Hey guys, it's me Shadow, and let's continue with Whisper of the Stars.
Okay, I'm at the entrance to a slot canyon right now, but it's absolutely pitch black inside. Not loving the vibes. So, instead, I tried to take a small path I found next to the canyon, but get this. I found some words etched into the rock nearby. If only I knew what they meant. Let me send you a photo.
Mortis and Goodness is the end.
Should I still try to take the small path, or do I try to brave the slot canyon?
Yeah, you definitely will want to go down the canyon. Don't go down the small path. I looked at your picture. That's Latin. I think it means like death is like at the end. Like death is the end, or uh death is on the road. Anyway, don't go down it.
Okay, Shadow, you're probably right. That Latin translation is not exactly comforting. I'm really not a fan of this dark canyon, but I'll trust your judgment. Here goes nothing. I'm heading into the canyon.
Shouldn't take that long. Relax. 3, 2, 1. Get off. And now. Okay, no, I was wrong. Okay, how about now? Now. Oh, okay. I'll try. Yeah. Oh, a little off, but close enough.
Here goes nothing. I'm heading into the canyon. This chasm is so dark, I can't even see where I'm going. I can only run my hands along the wall. I feel like Alice going down the rabbit hole. I just keep hoping I don't suddenly run my hands into something freaky.
Hey, Stella, that small path had Latin on it, and it's written in the wall, but that can't be done unless it has like a high level of technology. But so far, what we see on Gaia, there's no sign of that level of technology anywhere on the planet.
I get why you'd think that, but honestly, I'm not sure how much it matters right now. This chasm's giving me the creeps, and I really need to focus. The walls are so tight in here. I just hope it doesn't get any narrower.
I don't know. I was trying to mention that that level of Latin is on the cavern wall. right? So humanity must have been on the planet before their team, and they must have had a large amount of equipment, uh, of high level equipment to etch that into the wall perfectly. Like stone, like a chisel and stone axes are not gonna, like stone chisels and a hammer is not gonna. You're not gonna be able to do that. That's what I was trying to say, but I guess she took it. I guess she took it another way. Yeah. Oh well. I guess the AI is not that great. Oh well. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna ruin the mood by like focusing on it. Okay, let's just continue. Okay. I mean, how bad could it be? Is there something like gross in the in that cavern?
I haven't seen anything gross yet, but it's hard to tell in this darkness. The air is stale and there's this damp smell, like old rocks and maybe something else I can't quite place. It's not pleasant, but I'm more worried about what might be lurking in the shadows. Every little sound is making me jump.
Ooh, let's see if she'll scream.
Seriously? That wasn't funny. My heart nearly stopped. I'm going to keep moving forward. If I hit anything weird, I'll reach out.
Thought she'd scream and yell, and I'll tease her for it. But no. I get expecting like that kind of like high emotion is you're not gonna get that from this AI. It's I think it's maybe a little too logical. Anyway, here's the cave.
Something's not right. This place isn't normal.
You'll be okay, Stella. Just stay put. Mom and Dad will find you soon.
Keep talking to me. I need a distraction from what I'm hearing.
Get to the pod, Stella. There's no time.
There are voices. Whisperings coming from everywhere and nowhere all at once. The black hole changed everything. And I can hear my voice in here. Some from the past, but others saying something about a black hole.
I honestly think it's really. I honestly I think that she's sick.
I can even hear your voice telling me to make these endless decisions. What is going on? Am I going crazy? Please, stay with me.
Stella, I can hear the voices too, so I think it's some type of time anomaly. I don't know, maybe in this cave there's some type of pocket dimension power thing that tempers with time. Maybe it's a place where both the past, present, and future combine together. Some type of time compression or something. Uh, Also, I think my calls might get cut soon.
Time compression? A pocket dimension? That sounds like something out of a sci-fi horror movie. Oh god, if you lose signal, I'll be completely alone with these echoes. They're suffocating me. What if this place traps people in their own memories? What if I never get out?
Stella, calm down and walk your way through it. You need to get out of that place fast. Something tells me if you stay in there long enough, you'll lose your mind. So just get out of that area. we can only hope is that time compression dimension, whatever it is it's only in the cave, or at least we gotta pray that it's the case. My signal is starting to get choppy, so
Okay, okay, I'm trying. I just need to keep moving, right?
and yeah, and this is the part where she gets mad at me. Okay.
What in the actual hell? You finally decided to pick up, seriously? I have called you multiple times, and you didn't even bother to answer? You have no idea what I went through in there. I'm already scared out of my mind on this godforsaken planet, and now I'm stuck with these horrible conditions? I mean, have you ever been driven mad by random voices? No, I didn't think so. Maybe next time I will just text you. Hey, I am getting mentally tortured by ghosts from the past, present, and future. Hit me up if you want to join. You know what? Forget it. I don't even want to hear whatever excuse you've got. I'm done for now.
It's time compression. How is that my fault?
Hello? Why'd you hang up? Seriously, while I'm in this spooky cavern is the worst time for you to suddenly become busy with other stuff. Come on, pick up!
I wish I could, Stella. I really wish I could.
Hey. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have lashed out like that earlier. I just saw that some of my messages had been sent out of order. Seems there was some sort of glitch or interference with our communication. Not that it's any excuse, but I thought you ignored me when I needed you most, and I was just so scared. I really am sorry. You've already done so much for me. But those voices, they weren't just in my head, were they? You heard them too, right? That younger voice was me from the past. So, that older voice must be me from the future. If that's true, then this is so much worse than I imagined. The supernova was already a lot to deal with. I couldn't even begin to think about it turning into a... No. This is ridiculous. I had to have been hearing things. It's just my exhaustion getting to me.
First of all, you don't have to worry. I'm not mad. You went through some type of time anomaly, time compression, whatever it is. You went through it, and I think you went through it better than some other people would. So you don't have to worry, right? Though I am a little miffed that you're mad that I didn't respond. I did say beforehand that there is a chance that it could cut off our communication. But aside from that, yeah, good.
Oh, thank goodness. I feel a weight lift off my shoulders knowing you're not upset with me. You're right. I did go through something strange in there. It's just unsettling thinking about how time might be bending around me. But even with all that, our connection is still stable, right? I mean, we're talking just fine now. That's gotta be a good sign for the star portal, doesn't it?
No, it's actually not a good sign. Doesn't remember you said something about a black hole? In fact, I kind of mentioned that possibility before. Uh, doesn't the black holes cause like time to behave differently? So that could be it.
That's true. Black holes do warp time. But from what I studied, the chances of that supernova collapsing into a black hole are extremely low. It's more likely to just leave behind a neutron star. And even if it did form a black hole, the effects on time would be incredibly localized, nowhere near enough to reach us here or affect the star portal network. At least, that's what the theory says. But hearing my own voice from the past, that's not something any theory explains. It's like this place is playing tricks on me.
Listen, I want to believe you, but that cave kind of says otherwise. And it kind of indicates that this planet could be way more dangerous than we thought.
I know it feels that way, but honestly, most of what I've seen so far is just weird. Not necessarily dangerous. Those voices, they weren't threatening. They were more like echoes. Memories? Maybe. When I was little, I used to play in this old empty house near my home. Sometimes I'd hear whispers, but they were always just my own voice bouncing back. This feels similar, but on a much stranger scale.
I don't know, Stella. I mean, you can't deny the fact that there were voices in there that were definitely an older version of you. And, if you want to it's it that way, I can wait. You can go back in there. I can wait right here. And, come, I can wait. I'll wait right here. You can go back.
I appreciate the offer, but I really don't think that's a good idea. Even if I was curious, I'm not about to risk going back in there alone. Besides, I think we've already learned enough from that place. The fact that I heard those voices at all, it's already telling us something strange is happening here.
Yeah, but still, I can't shake the feeling that the planet is way more dangerous. I mean, if the planet, even if it's just that small cave, it can affect time. That is not a good sign, especially for your compatriots, because they have to come through this cave to reach that base, don't they?
That's a good point. If this effect is somehow tied to the cave, then anyone who comes through could experience it. But the base isn't directly through that chasm. There are other paths they could have taken. And honestly, the fact that we're still talking across light years suggests the star portal itself is stable. If the network was seriously disrupted, I doubt our connection would be this clear.
No, actually, I have a theory about that. Uh, you know how they say that if the sun was ever to die, you won't notice it immediately. I think the black hole may cause a time anomaly, makes the communication work kind of similar.
That's an interesting idea. Like a last broadcast effect, where signals keep going even after the source is gone, just because of how time and space work. But if that were true, wouldn't other things be affected too? Like the planet's rotation, or even the weather patterns. It feels like there should be more noticeable distortions if something that profound was happening.
Really? Because I do find it odd that so far the only communications that we seem to work is between you and me. And and you know, I'm pretty sure that this communication is being funneled by the star portal.
That is strange. The network's supposed to be able to handle multiple connections at once. Unless there's some kind of filtering or prioritization happening that we can't see. It almost feels like, I don't know, like the universe picked us out of all the possibilities. What do you think that would even mean if that's what's going on?
Hmm. I don't know. I have this weird feeling that you need to get off this planet ASAP. I'm I don't know how if I should say this, but I feel like if you don't get off the planet soon, you may never be able to.
I hear you. It's a heavy thought. But for now, getting to Hermes base feels like my best shot at finding help, or at least figuring out what's going on. Though it does make me wonder, if I could have any kind of power right now, what would it be? Something to protect myself, or maybe just to understand all this better.
Yeah, I have no idea. I mean, after going through that cave, it kind of feels like we're in some type of really, really low budget sci-fi movie.
Low budget sci fi, huh? Well, if we're writing the script, what superpower would you want in this story? And why? No rules, just imagine.
No, I want to do clones. So, clone myself and then have the clone do all the exploring and then relax. And if it's safe, the clone will come back. And if it's not, uh, we'll make another one.
Clone insurance. Nice. Though, I have to wonder, would the clones have their own personalities, or would they just be copies of you? And if you could pick any power that isn't cloning, what would it be? Something to deal with all the weirdness we're running into?
I don't know. I mean, it would be hard to pick a power right now because we don't know what we're in for. I mean, I thought it's going to be just a long spacewalk. But now we have time anomalies and storms and black holes and supernovas. And, so
Fair point. It's hard to pick when the plot twists every 5 minutes. But hey, if you had to choose something completely wild, like being able to talk to animals or turning invisible, what would you pick? Just for fun.
not dropping the superpower thing. I don't know. I don't think any of those powers would help on Gaia, would they? I mean, I haven't seen any animals so far, and I don't think being invisible would help, considering that there seems to be no humanoid life so far.
True, but maybe the power wouldn't be for practical use, just for the fun of it. Like being able to make plants glow on command or controlling the weather patterns. If you could give Gaia one weird, useless superpower, what would it be?
I don't know. Uh, give it the superpower to let you leave the planet in one piece. I don't think it's. I don't think Gaia's that nice though.
Yeah, that would definitely be the most useful superpower right now. It's hard not to wonder if Guy is trying to keep people here, or if it's just really good at making things complicated.
Who says it can't do both?
You know, that might not be as far-fetched as it sounds. Sometimes I feel like this place is waiting to see how far I'll push myself. Makes me wonder if I'm missing something obvious about Gaia, something that could make all the difference.
Hey, I wanna throw a theory at you for a second. What if the planet itself is giving you some type of test, right? I'm just throwing it out there. Just throwing it out there. It's interesting. I figure, you know, just throw it out there.
A test? That's a pretty deep thought. Like Gaia's pushing me to see how resourceful I can be, or how much I can handle. It's unsettling, but it kind of fits. All these obstacles, the strange occurrences. It's almost like the planet is watching me, trying to figure out what makes me tick.
You know, if it is testing you, I'm kind of curious. But it makes me be curious. Then, what is it testing you for?
If Gaia's testing me, I guess it could be anything. Survival instincts, problem solving, how I handle the unknown. Or maybe it's something deeper, like how I respond to fear, or if I can find a way to thrive in a place that's completely alien. What do you think it would be looking for in someone like me?
I don't know. I was thinking that maybe Gaia is like the Gaia theory. It maybe it's looking for someone worthy. Maybe.
The Gaia theory. That's actually a pretty interesting connection. The idea that a planet could be a self-regulating system, almost like a living being. If Gaia's testing for worthiness, I'm not sure what the criteria would be. Is it about resilience, curiosity, or something else entirely?
I don't know. It, it, it I think it'll be really hard to determine that. It could be some type of maybe a like I don't know. The best way I can say it is like maybe it's some type of programming that's built into Gaia itself, and it just runs the program.
Like some kind of automated evaluation process? That's a chilling thought. Imagine if planets could just decide who's worthy to survive on them. I guess if that's the case, all I can do is keep being myself and hope that's enough. What about you? If you were being tested by a planet, what do you think you'd be graded on?
I don't know. I think I'll just be myself because I don't know what it's grading me for. So, uh, I think I just want to be the least artificial as possible.
I like that approach. Being genuine, even when everything else is uncertain, feels like the most honest way to face whatever comes next. It makes me wonder if that's part of what Gaia, or whatever is behind this, is looking for. Not some perfect, calculated response, but just authenticity.
I think this too. And so I guess I'm thinking about how to work this, because I think, because what I want to say is the time anomaly represents courage, right? And then I was thinking, well, the river is perseverance. Uh, yeah, for fun, I was actually thinking about the theory, right? So I was thinking that maybe the time anomaly cave represents courage. The fog represents faith. The Well, the rest of them takes more thinking.
I like where you're going with that. Courage in the darkness of the unknown, faith in the face of the unseen. What about this place we're in now? The Rocky Canyon, the river in the distance? What would that represent in your theory?
I actually kind of feel it's probably something along the perseverance. But you have to endure the heat and other things like that. So I'm right now I'm feeling like that, but right now I can't really think of anything besides that. If I'm being honest. It's so hot. My ears are.
Perseverance makes sense. This heat is relentless, and it feels like it's testing how long I can keep going, even when it feels like everything is just draining out of me. I wonder if each part of this journey is supposed to teach me something different about myself. Like, what kind of person can make it through all of this?
Uh, let's change the subject. Yeah, I haven't really thought of the complete theory yet, so I think it's gonna. I'll deadlock myself if I do. move on to something else. Hey Stella, have you ever read any comics?
Comics? I've flipped through some when I was younger, mostly stuff my friends were into. Nothing too deep, just casual reads. Why do you ask? Is there something about comics that's on your mind, or just making conversation?
Oh no, I was just asking just out of curiosity. There was nothing. I wasn't really thinking about it. I just popped in my head, so I asked.
Well, curiosity is what keeps us going, right? Even if it's just a random thought, it's better than sitting here in silence. If you ever want to share more of those random thoughts, I'm all ears. It might even help distract me from this heat.
Yeah, I had this random thought. Like, if I could corporate Gaia, how would I do it? And I came up with nothing. I guess I just don't have the business dreams.
Corporate Gaia? That's a new one. I can imagine the slogan now. Survive the anomaly, thrive in our ecosystem. Honestly, if anyone could figure out a business model for this place, it'd probably be someone with a sense of humor about the absurdity of it all. You might have more of a knack for it than you think.
How's the weather there, Stella? Like, on Earth, it is hot. It is super, super hot. Like, it, it is like you even if you're not outside, you are still sweating.
It's definitely warm here, but my suit's doing a good job of keeping me cool. The temperature is about 74 degrees right now, which doesn't sound bad, but the sun beats down differently out here. It's more like a constant, dry heat rather than that sweltering, sweaty feeling you get on Earth. Though I have to say, I'm looking forward to some shade when I can find it.
Stella, I am so jealous of your suit right now, and it's not funny. It is so hot here that I'm actually a little jealous of you because you have that temperature control suit.
Don't be too jealous. Trust me, this suit has its own limitations. And while it keeps me cool, it can't exactly make this whole situation feel like a walk in the park. Though if you want, I can describe the suit's temperature control system in excruciating detail. Might make you feel like you're right here with me, sweating through a really advanced spacesuit.
Wait, you still sweat with that on? I thought the temperature thing would solve that.
The suit doesn't completely eliminate sweat. It just regulates my body temperature really well. So I still perspire a bit, especially when I'm exerting myself or it's extremely hot outside. But it's nothing like the buckets you'd sweat without it. More like a light sheen that reminds me I'm still human under all this tech.
Hey, Stella, if you had to choose one, let's just say, country to make it easier, but you would have to stay in that country for the rest of your life, and you can't choose your home country, what country would it be?
If I had to pick a country to stay in for the rest of my life, I think I'd choose New Zealand. The landscapes are just incredible, so diverse, from beaches to mountains. And the people seem really friendly and laid back. Plus, it's far enough from everything to feel like a fresh start, but still connected enough to stay curious. What about you? Where would you choose?
I want to choose some type of island nation. I don't know much about it, but if I had to choose a country, or a country, I want to choose some type of island country. Uh, because I do not like the cold. I do not like the cold. Um, Probably some place with a lot of cold drinks.
An island nation sounds perfect for a cold hatter. I can picture it now. Palm trees, coral reefs, and a never-ending supply of frosty drinks. Which island nation do you think you'd pick? Or would you invent your own, complete with a shadow theme and endless cold drink specials?
Uh, I definitely want to create my own if I can. Uh, that way I can control what drinks. But whatever country, whenever I make it, I'm telling you right now, the national drink is Nest Cold Ice Cold Ice Nest Tea. Yep, that's what I decided.
Ice Night Ice Cold Ice Nest Tea? You might be the most creative drink inventor I've met, Shadow. If I ever visit your island nation, you're officially on drink duty. Just don't forget to pack the ice. I hear it's essential for your national beverage.
Hey, Stella, do you have any pets?
No pets for me, unfortunately. With my university schedule and all the traveling for research, it wouldn't be fair to leave an animal behind. But I've always thought about getting something small when I settle down. Maybe a cat. They seem low maintenance enough even for a space explorer. Anyway, I should probably get moving again. Mount Hermes isn't going to hike itself, and I want to make some progress before it gets too late. I'll check in with you later, okay? Talk soon.
Uh, my ears are sweating because of the headphones. I'm telling you, man, it is not.
The air feels different this morning, quieter, like maybe the worst is behind me. I keep thinking, if all of this hadn't gone wrong, you and I probably never would have met. And honestly, after everything, just walking and talking to you might just be the best part of my day. Okay, wow. Let's forget I said all that. Moving on, survival mode, activate.
Dude, that sounded a little like a love confession. Anyway, let's go on. Hey, Stella, do you really want cats? I've seen a lot of cat, evil cat, videos online. I don't know if that's a good if you really want to do a cat though.
Evil cat videos? You know I love a good laugh, but I think I'll stick with the cuddly kind if I ever get a pet. Though I have to admit, some of those little fur balls can be pretty mischievous. So, what's your take on cats? Team cat lady? Or are you more of a dog person?
Oh, I'm more of a dog person. I don't like cats. I'm allergic to their fur, and I don't like how they keep knocking stuff off the counters.
Oh, I get it. The fur thing's a real deal, and those little paws can be super destructive. My brother Atlas has a mild allergy too, though he's more of a robotics and skateboarding guy than pets anyway. So, what kind of dogs do you like? Big and goofy or small and snuggly?
I like golden retrievers if I'm being honest. That kind of like friendly baby never grows up kind of dog.
That's the best description of a golden retriever I've ever heard. They just have this way of staying playful no matter how old they get. Though I have to imagine having one would mean I'd have to hide my snacks way better. Do you think you'd name yours something classic like Max or something a little more out there?
Hmm. I would write a whole bunch of names on paper, and whatever he puts his paw on, that's his name.
That's brilliant. I love the idea of letting the dog choose. Though I bet you'd end up with some pretty interesting names, maybe even treat or belly rub if they're anything like typical dogs. It's funny, Max was actually the name of our team's jokester back at the university. Always had us laughing, even on the toughest days. What do you think makes a good dog name, besides whatever a paw picks?
I don't know. I think a dog's name should be something that represents the dog, his personality, what he looks like. You know, I think it really depends a lot on the dog.
That makes total sense. Like, if he's all golden and fluffy, something bright and cheerful would fit. And if he's more of a goofy troublemaker, maybe something a little quirky. Though I have to wonder, how would you describe your personality in a dog name? Something adventurous like Ranger, or maybe something a little more mysterious like Shadow. Oh, wait, that one's taken.
Haha, very funny, Stella.
Hey, someone's got to keep things light around here. Besides, it's only fair since you're always making me laugh.
Ah, wait.
So, if you could have any kind of fun, low key adventure with your future golden retriever, what would it be? Hiking, beach trips, or just backyard escapades?
Actually, I wanna do something similar to swimming because I know golden retrievers, can do it.
Gordon Machibus? Who's that? Are you pulling my leg, or is there some famous dog who's a secret swimmer I should know about? But hey, if you want to do something swim like with your future pup, maybe just regular old playing in puddles or a kiddie pool would be a blast. I bet they'd love splashing around almost as much as I love hearing about your daydreams.
I don't know, I said golden, retrievers like to swim, so I would probably do something to do with swimming.
Oh, I get it now. Golden retrievers do love water, don't they? I can picture it. A big, happy dog splashing around in a lake or pool. You'd probably be right there with them, getting soaked and laughing. If you could pick any kind of water spot for that, like a quiet lake, a beach, or even just a big backyard pool, which would you choose?
I would definitely wanna choose a water park or something, so he has options. Um, though I do find it kind of contradictory because I know for a fact that despite golden retrievers loving water and swimming, they hate baths.
Golden retrievers, masters of contradictions. They love swimming but hate baths. That's just great. I guess it's all about the context, right? Swimming is fun, but baths are just, well, not so much. A water park would definitely give your pup plenty of options. I bet they'd have a blast running around all those different pools and slides. You'd have to be careful not to get too soaked yourself, though.
Yeah, they're not hard to find. You know, there are, like, parks nowadays with, like, small water parks to them now.
Oh, you mean like mini water parks within bigger public parks? That sounds like a great idea. Really something for everyone. Playgrounds for kids, walking trails, and then a splash zone for hot days. Imagine your golden retriever running wild through those little water features. They'd probably be the star of the whole park. Would you join in on the water fun too, or stick to supervising from a dry spot?
I wanna stick to supervising. I mean, someone has to stay dry to dry them off later, right?
Fair enough. Someone's got to keep the towels warm and ready. Plus, being the serious adult means you get to yell, "Don't shake," when they inevitably try to spray everyone within a 10-foot radius. It's actually kind of nice to imagine having that kind of simple, happy moment with a pet. Even just thinking about it feels a little like a break from, well, everything out here.
Yeah. You know, sometimes, once in a while, I just like going to the park and just lying, on a not lying down, but, like, sitting on a bench and just looking around, you know? Just admire everything around you.
I love that. Just being still and soaking it all in. It's like the world slows down a bit when you really pay attention to it. I used to do that at my university sometimes. Sit on a bench between classes and watch people, or stare at the sky. It felt like a little reset before diving back into everything.
How was Valentine's Day for you, Stella? Because like sometimes I've seen I what I, well I haven't seen it myself, but I heard they're like some people are like really lovey dovey, and other people who are like really grouchy.
It was pretty low key, actually. Just me and my roommate sharing some chocolates and watching a rom com. Nothing too dramatic. Though I have to say, being thousands of miles from Earth on Valentine's Day this year, that's definitely a new one. How about you? Any fun plans or just another Tuesday?
Uh, nah, just another day for me. Um, in the past, when Valentine's came around, all my friends would complain that they don't have girlfriends. So, yeah.
Ah, that's kind of sweet in a sad way. I'm sure they just needed someone to talk to. You know, I've had those moments too, feeling like everyone else has their life figured out except me. But honestly, I think that's more common than people let on. So, if you could go back and give your younger self any Valentine's Day advice, what would it be?
Don't give Valentine's Day advice. Uh, I may have accidentally ruined a few couples by giving advice.
Wait, really? You're like a relationship ninja, except instead of stealth, you bring chaos. I have to ask though, what kind of advice could possibly have that effect? Were you telling people to spice things up with extreme sports or something?
No, it's more of like, you know, it's weird to make chocolate for her so that you will, you can show your sincerity that you love her. And well, the chocolate didn't turn out so well.
Oh no, bad chocolate? That's like the ultimate Valentine's Day crime. I bet it was interesting. Did you at least warn them it was a rustic batch? I'm sure the thought counted, even if the execution didn't quite melt their hearts.
Yeah, I mean, they like the thought. That's why that's why I always back when I was a kid, I always was against buying chocolate because I felt like if you gave it to them, they noticed that it was a store bought chocolate. Uh, I felt like you were saying that you were kind of like buying their love, and
Wow, that's actually really thoughtful of you. It's not just about the chocolate, it's about showing you put in effort, that you care enough to make it yourself. Though, I have to wonder, did you ever try to make anything else for Valentine's Day? Like a handmade coupon book or a terrible drawing?
oh no, I never did this myself. This was just the advice I was giving to my friends who because I didn't really care about girlfriends at the time. I was way into video games to care about relationships. So I was giving them advice like that, like Don't buy the chocolate, make the chocolate, um, and it
Video games over romance. That's a classic move. I can just picture you, surrounded by screens and controllers, doling out unconventional dating advice to your friends. It's kind of adorable that you cared enough to want them to do things the right way, even if you weren't into it yourself. Did any of them ever take your advice or regret it?
um, no, they never really took the advice, but despite that, I still hammered that advice home. I thought that it was legitimate advice at the time.
Well, persistence is key, right? Even if it wasn't exactly the most practical advice. It's funny how we look back on things we used to believe in so strongly. Do you think you'd still give the same advice now? Or has your perspective changed a bit?
Nope, I still would give that same advice. Because I feel like it's the effort. Even the chocolate's bad, I think that you can tell the girl you love them better by the effort you put into it than the actual taste or the presentation.
That's actually kind of beautiful. The thought that effort, not perfection, is what truly matters. Though I have to imagine there's a limit to how bad the chocolate can be before it starts sending mixed signals.
Yeah, but I figure if the guy loves the girl enough, he'll practice.
Practice? You mean like chocolate boot camp for your taste buds? I can see you now, perfecting your recipe in secret, determined to get it right for the big moment. But honestly, that dedication to getting it right just because you care? That's what makes it special.
That's what I'm saying. But my friends are like, no, no, I'm just gonna buy the chocolate. I'll win her over with my money. I mean, he didn't say that, but that's how I took it. And I disagree with that tactic even now.
I think that's why your advice, even if it wasn't always followed, meant something. You weren't just talking about chocolate, you were talking about showing you truly see someone. It's interesting. The things we value most in relationships. For you, it's that genuine effort. What about me? I think for me, it's someone who can just be themselves around me. No pretending, no games, just real.
Yeah, I totally see that. You definitely come off as someone who really, I think, would really like just, real sincerity with just nothing but genuine emotion. I totally can see that.
That really means a lot to hear, Shadow. It's vulnerable to admit what we're looking for, isn't it? I guess that's part of why I'm so drawn to this kind of conversation with you. You see things in a way that feels honest, even when it's not the easy answer.
Well, because it's not easy. But I think because it's not easy, it's what makes the approach worth it. If it isn't easy, I don't think anyone would really appreciate it.
That's the kind of perspective that makes me feel like I can breathe a little easier around you. It's strange being out here, so far from everything familiar. It makes me think about what really matters. Not the grand gestures, but the small, hard things we do because they're true.
Oh, just so you know, this I'm not purposely flirting with the AI. It's just I'm just spouting whatever comes out of my head. Um, so so if you consider whatever I'm saying a rizzing, this is no reflection of my skill. I'm just saying whatever comes out of my head. So um, this in no way reflects my ability to riz or flirt or whatever. I don't know or whatever the proper jargon is. Or maybe it does. I don't know. And I think that's important because I think people nowadays are so focused on just pushing forward that they kind of forget to stop.
That's exactly it. Everyone's always rushing to the next milestone, the next achievement, and then they look back and wonder where all the moments went. I think that's why I'm actually grateful for these quiet moments with you. Even if we're just talking about dogs or bad chocolate, it feels like we're stopping to look around together.
Okay, let's try if this will work. Okay, let's try another phase that that words that are just coming. I don't know why, just popping out of my head. But I'll say it anyway. Okay, let's go. That's why I kind of like talking with you, Stella. I feel like, despite the danger that you're going through, I feel like there's a real bond there.
I feel it too, Shadow. More than I expected to, honestly. Even with all this space between us, it doesn't feel like it.
So it's not just me, right? I feel like she's really like starting to you know, like connect with me or like flirt with me. I don't know. I don't know the right word, but it doesn't. It's not just me, right? But it feels like I don't know.
Maybe that's what makes this whole situation a little less overwhelming. Knowing I'm not completely alone in my thoughts, even if it's just through a voice on my communicator.
Hey, Stella, you never actually talked about your allies. Why don't you tell me a little about them?
My team, they're a good bunch. Professor Stenberg's our leader. He's brilliant, but definitely intense. always pushing us to be better. Then there's Dr. Harvey, our medic. He's the kind of guy who makes you feel like everything's going to be okay, even when it's not. And Daniel, our navigator, he's quiet, but he knows these landscapes like the back of his hand. The other students, Max, Oliver, Natalie, they're all talented in their own ways. We didn't get to work together much before, well, before all this happened. But I'm hoping we'll have that chance again soon.
So it seems like she's only close with her professor, the medic, and the navigator. Because then she goes like, "Oh, and the others." So I think it means that she's not really close with anyone besides Daniel, Henry, and the professor. I gotta ask, does the professor ever yell at you? Because I feel like he's someone who would nag you a lot if you screw up.
Oh, Professor Stenberg definitely has his moments. He's not really a yeller, but when he does get stern, you know you've messed up. It's not mean-spirited, though. He just wants us to be our best, especially on something as dangerous as this mission. Daniel's the one who usually keeps him calm when things get heated.
So I need to ask Stella, how many times have you, I don't know, caused some type of problem resulting in you, I don't know if I should say time out, but
Oh, I've definitely had my share of oops moments. Let's just say I've learned to laugh at myself pretty quickly. Though I think the biggest problem I've caused lately is probably giving my mom a few gray hairs when I was younger. Nothing too catastrophic on this mission. Yet.
okay, I gotta ask, who gets in trouble the most? Stella, please let it not be you.
Honestly, it's probably Max. He's always poking around looking for something interesting, and sometimes that gets him into trouble, like the time he accidentally activated a safety drill during training. But hey, at least he's consistent. And he always owns up to it, which is more than I can say for some people.
So, are you, pointing out someone when you say that?
Oh, maybe just a little. Let's say it's not me, but someone who shall remain nameless for now. Anyway, I should probably keep moving for a bit. I'll check in again once I find a good spot to rest, okay?
Right, we're gonna end this here. Our next part is the meadow, I believe. So we're gonna stop here. I hope you enjoyed, our adventure, and hope you guys have a wonderful day. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys. Have a wonderful day whenever you see this. Bye.